afternoon, everybody. It's time for Devon's Table. I'm Devon O'Day.
I'm Sylvia Gagne.
And, ooh, I love the smell of rosemary in the morning. Oh, that smells so good. Makes me think of focaccia bread and dipped in olive oil. All the good stuff. And there's basil and there's stuff I don't even know what all of this is. But Sylvia, you're going to tell us.
We're going to talk a little bit about some different plants because we're talking about when to plant. And the different plants should go in at different times.
Okay.
Don't be confused just when the weatherman says the high or the low is going to be a particular temperature, because it's not just the air, it's the soil temperature.
Right.
And everybody wants to get ahead. And I bet you have somebody in your family that is like the radar of when to plant and not to plant.
Mama Pat. She will tell you, she has her mental barometer. It's like, nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. There's all the things. The pecan trees don't lie. That if you're in Louisiana and the pecan trees are blooming out, they won't lie. Now, forsythia will lie to you.
Some of those plants are just that way. Don't trust them.
Don't trust them. They will bloom out and get burned. But a pecan tree won't. But Mama Pat won't lead you wrong either. She kept telling me I had some new herbs. I had some basil plants and some stuff. She goes, don't put them in the ground yet.
And she's right.
She was.
So your more hardy things you could put in as long as you think you're over the worst part of the winter. Right now we're going to get another. Maybe it's dogwood, maybe it's blackberry, maybe it's pick one. It's whatever winter we're going to be going through right now. It is not ragweed winter, I'll tell you that right now.
It is not ragweed winter.
And so for rosemary, this particular variety, this is good to about 15 degrees. So I would feel comfortable putting this rosemary out somewhere where it wasn't going to just, not have the wind whipping through it all the time. So I could put my rosemary in.
Rosemary likes a lot of sun, doesn't it?
It loves sun. It doesn't like to have wet feet, meaning sitting in water. So like we were talking potatoes in the bucket, you want to make sure you have good drainage in the bottom for this. You could also do some sedum. Now the sedum can die back.
Okay.
What I love about sedum is it can die back a little bit, but it will bounce back. If you forget to water it, it'll bounce back. You overwater it, it'll be happy. You say bad things to it, it'll still be happy.
I love it. Is this a ground cover?
This is a ground cover, but it looks really pretty, and it can have little tiny blossoms on it. So some of the sedum can actually bloom as well.
Nice.
So I love ground cover. You could go ahead and put this guy in because it is also a tender perennial. These are perennials, meaning you don't have to plant them. They come back every year. Perennially, they come back.
Love that.
And then you have annuals, and annuals are usually the ones that you don't put out when it is still too cold. You can start your tomato plants like we did if you have indoor greenhouse, something like a really nice windowsill, one of those little arrow garden things. We started these maybe 3 weeks ago in the greenhouse. This baby is staying in the greenhouse or a hoop house for quite a little bit more time because it's going to be below 55 degrees in air and soil temperature. The same thing for the basil. So this has to wait. If I get too anxious and I need to snip a little bit to use in a recipe, I can start clipping it a little bit at a time before I put it out, but it is not time to put it out if I really want Martha Washington right here. That's the variety.
Yeah.
If Miss Martha is going to survive, she needs to stay in and stay a little bit warmer.
Yes. Now, who's this?
And so this, I just couldn't resist showing fresh bay leaf.
Oh!
And so, you see these bay leaves that you get in the perpetual, way too large for the home cooked keep for, just one season, right? So I love to use fresh bay. It is a game changer when you're cooking.
Oh, wow.
And even when you do this and then you smell your hand, you can smell the bay on your hand.
Oh,
it's amazing.
Wow.
And you just start taking some of the larger leaves off here and there as you need them. This has to stay inside in the winter. So it's a container plant unless you want to dig it up and bring it in. This is along with these guys. You put these three out at the same time and these two over here. Division of church and state to make sure you're not going to frostbite these or freeze them out. These can handle a little bit more cold temperature.
I love it. Now, I have seen people keep some basil inside and keep rosemary inside as almost a decorative plant that they cook with. And you can do that, right?
If you've got really good light in your kitchen. If your kitchen is dark, they're not going to make it.
Okay.
The other thing to think about, you see in the grocery store, we all have bought bazillions of the little herbs that come in pots that look kind of like this, and you bring them home. They have the little plastic sleeve on them, and they make it for a day, maybe 2 days, 3 days at home. You're like, what did I do? I killed my plant. Well, you didn't really kill the plant, because those are grown in very controlled environments. Oh. And when you take them out of that environment and they're not getting the exact amount of water that is pre-measured through the mister twice a day at exactly the same time, the right amount of light, it's not what you're doing. The plant just has a different environment than what it's used to, and it doesn't like it. So don't feel bad. Go ahead, when you buy those herbs at the grocery store, go ahead and use them. Pretend you spent the $2 not just on a living plant, but like the little package you get where you don't see the plant attached. Just pretend like it's one of those, because you're not going to have as much success with those.
See, I was blaming myself all these years.
It's not your fault, Devon.
I'm not going to blame myself anymore.
Never again.
And don't you either. Hey, but I will ask you to stick around to the end of the show.
Hi, I'm Brenda Fielder. At Mid-South Exteriors, our custom sunrooms bring the sunshine in without all the heat and the bugs. And they keep you warm all winter while you enjoy the outdoors all year round. They add real value because we build them like your house to match your house. Or let us save you energy by replacing your windows and old siding. And because we have no retail overhead, we come to you and sell direct to you for less. Call us at 833-8003 or visit us at MidSouthExteriors.com.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Hello, I'm Brooks Tucker, and I'm with Bella Tucker Designs. And today I'm going to show you how to do an opal glaze. First, we need to start out with our base color. There it is. I like that color. is a color I use a lot. That with dark browns look awesome. All right, make sure you have a nice nap roller, one that's not going to shed on you. And here I go, base color. But usually you want to go in the same direction too, because if you cross, you know, you'll kind of see it. It depends on the sheen though too. Like if you get a flat, it doesn't matter, but this is like a satin, so you got to be careful. Satin, anything above, you want to watch which way you go with the roller. And just make sure you get all the spots. And this is pretty good coverage, so I'll see tomorrow if I need to put another coat. Usually you're good with at least 2 coats. So, well, there's that, and tomorrow I'll put an opal glaze over it and show you how that's done. And today is day 2 of opal glazing. I've already poured my product into the tray. Do a brush, and I'm going to roll one side, so just to see the variation of what a glaze looks like. Just sparse it. It's real easy, it just goes on real easy. Gives it that shimmer. Real easy. Yeah, just make sure you can get a full coverage there. And that would be the rolling on the opal glaze. Now for the one that's more strenuous on you, if you want to work out on a big wall. And do all your strokes in one direction, unless you want a different variation. If you want like a crisscross pattern, or it just depends on what your taste is like. But I'm just going to go in a one general direction. So, and this stuff dries pretty quickly, so try to get it on there as quick as you can. Yeah. Looks good. This is Brooks Tucker, and I'm with Bella Tucker. And you can, if you need more information about opal glazing, you can contact us at www.bella-tucker, tucker.com. Thanks.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Devon O'Day here at Preds Night, Main Street Media Night at the Predators game. I'm going to play the Kraken tonight. But you know what? We have met so many amazing people. People who say, oh my gosh, are you the paper in Clarksville? Yeah, we're the paper in Clarksville. Are you the paper in Mount Juliet? Yes, we're the paper in Mount Juliet. We're Wilson County. We are your high school sports paper. We cover everything that's hyper-local, the good stories, the feel-good stories, the stories that you want to clip out and put on your refrigerator just to remember. Maybe you want to send it to somebody to say, hey, saw you in the paper. That's what Main Street Media is all about. And thanks for coming to Main Street Media Night here at the Preds game. Go Preds.
Mid-South Exterior.
Hi, I'm Brenda Fielder. When it comes to sunrooms and screen porches, we have more than 60 years experience helping Middle Tennesseans add value to their homes. At Mid-South Exteriors, we install all types of siding, from hardy board to all the new vinyl designs. We also do custom trim, gutters and downspouts. We even do roofing. And of course, energy-efficient replacement windows. Our website is our showroom, so we come to you and sell direct to you for less.
MidSouthExteriors.com. Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm the chef at the Loveless Cafe. I've been here for about 7 years. I grew up right here in Nashville, Tennessee, so Mama always had turnip greens on the oven. Today, we're going to show you how to make southern turnip greens the Loveless Cafe way. We got several ingredients. The Loveless smoked bacon. You can find this at our Hams and Jams Country Market or online. 1 medium onion, half cup of dark brown sugar, about a teaspoon of red crushed pepper, about a cup apple cider vinegar, and a whole batch of turnip greens. Now these turnip greens have been cleaned and cut. If I could go out in the backyard and pick it and cut it, I would. This flame's as high as you can get it. About a teaspoon of canola oil. You want to get that hot enough to sizzle your bacon. And remember, this is a smoked bacon, so you don't need a whole lot. You're just kind of trying to get the flavor. If you overdo it, you'll have too much of a smoked flavor. You don't want to overwhelm the greens. So at this point, we got our oil nice and hot. We're going to put that in there and let it sizzle real good. Basically sauteing our bacon. You're going to take your onion and chop it. And you're just going to toss your onions right in there and saute that with the bacon. Number one ingredients of a nice southern side item is clean hands. Got to have clean hands. All right, now once we got our bacon and onions sauteing, you're going to put about a teaspoon of red crushed pepper. Saute that around a little bit. Once your onions start getting a kind of a translucent look to them, you're going to get your dark brown sugar. Just put that dark brown sugar right in there. Oh yeah. Then you come right behind that with your apple cider vinegar. About a cup. Now I'm going to grab some water. Once this comes to a kind of a boil here, you're going to add a gallon of water. In the South, we call this here a pot liquor. Now that this has started to come to a boil, grab our batch of turnip greens and we'll just dump them right in here. And just kind of smash them down. This water will evaporate, as you can imagine, if we're boiling it for 4 to 5 hours. So you want to add about a gallon and a half per hour. Never want this to run out of water. You'll turn this down to about a medium high, but you want it to boil the whole 5 to 6 hours. We've been boiling this for about 5 hours. This is a finished product. You can see the difference in the color and the difference in the consistency of it. Very much soft. Let's see what this tastes like here. Like I said, you want to get that pot liquor in there. That's kind of part of the flavor. Get all that nice juicy in there. Very good. That's what turnip greens should taste like. Definitely worth 5 hours of cooking. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you here at the Loveless Cafe.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
It's always a bit cooler in Crossville, and the trees are starting to get that fall tint to them this time of year. More than 600 third graders are enjoying the fall weather at the UT Ag Research Center here in Crossville.
It's our 28th annual Ag in the Classroom. We've got over 600 third graders here and about 70 or 80 volunteers.
Cumberland County Farm Bureau President Al Wilson says they feel it's important to make these farm days a priority to help young people understand where their food comes from.
Agriculture in this county is very important, but the kids don't know about it. They don't know where their food comes from. We're getting to hold chickens today. They're getting to see sheep. They're getting to see cattle.
We've learned a lot from being out here over the years. Is just explain to the kids, just kind of show them the live chicks, ask them a few questions, just to kind of familiarize them with the process of a chick and basically who we are. We've done it for, I think, 28 years or so. We really enjoy it and think the kids like it, and that's the biggest reason we do it, just for the kids.
I'm talking about fruit and vegetable production, and as the ag agent here in Cumberland County, I like to visit with these students about where their fruit, where their vegetables come from, the fact that they just don't show up in grocery stores, that there's a lot of time that goes into the actual production of those fruits and vegetables. We've got so many kids that are far removed from the farm that they don't understand, where that food comes from. They don't understand what really goes into the production of those foods, how critical it is in terms of the management, and that it's just, it's a labor of love.
And the kids are definitely learning a lot and having fun.
First we went to learn about weather, and we got to see some animals after.
So what's been your favorite part so far?
The chickens.
What did you get to do with the chickens?
We got to hold them. They felt very soft.
So I think it's amazing what Farm Bureau has done and all their partners for the kids. I mean, this is a prime example of experiential learning, which is hands-on. The kids see it, they can feel it. I mean, they're holding baby chickens, they're right next to the beef cattle, they're down with the forestry. I mean, it's amazing. They're seeing everything that is super important about agriculture and their future.
Cumberland County Young Farmers and Ranchers Chair Sadie Hicks says farm days like this not only helps educate kids about where their food comes from, but also hopefully inspires them to pursue careers in agriculture.
Agriculture is our leading industry in Tennessee, so to be able to have kids come out here and experience such an important career path in this state is just absolutely exciting, because a lot of these kids, they don't come from ag backgrounds. They get to come out and experience more of the side that I get to live on every day. Being able to come out and see a cow in real life when maybe they haven't seen that before is really exciting, and just being able to experience life on the farm for a day, that's just great.
Great for the kids and great for the future of agriculture. For Tennessee Farm Bureau, I'm Thomas Capps.
I've been influenced my whole life by what I think would be referred to as intertribal culture, which is not the same thing now as when I was younger. When I was younger and you would go to powwows, they were very much dances that, although they originated maybe from a specific tribal culture, they had evolved within powwow to become much more open to interpretation. I think for me, that kind of ability to make something contemporary and to speak to like current times was really important. Within this intertribal cultural aesthetic, I've paid attention to many things. So for instance, the Tuscarora raised beadwork with whimsies, or Dene or Navajo weavings is another thing that I've grown up with. And in particular, eye dazzler rugs, which is a particular kind of weaving, really impacted me early on for its optical effect of color and shape and pattern. But there's another kind of weaving, which is no dyes, monochromatic, and the weavers would allow the natural variations in the color of the dye to play out into these kind of horizontal bands of color that would describe the land. And so the idea of thinking about abstraction as having the ability to actually be representative and not just a kind of emotive, subjective mark making is something that's always interested me. So this particular mural, I was thinking about that kind of banding of color to describe landscape. And I was looking at the colors in the landscape of New Mexico, which I've been going to since I was about 19. And then just with everything else that I've been thinking about over the last few years, the writing, The Land is Speaking, Are You Listening, is something that I drafted. But I just started thinking about, how do we start speaking to the land as if it can hear us and it can respond? How do we give it that kind of integrity?
There's just something very magical about Saddle Up.
There's this peaceful, safe, sanctuary feeling.
I need a high five too. That was so awesome.
They really get what it is to deal with kids with special needs. There's a lot of laughing, there's a lot of carry on, but at the same time they're still working very, very hard.
Twist, right and left.
So Saddle Up is what's considered an equine assisted services program. Our horses are the therapy tool.
I think all horses are awesome, but these are exceptionally awesome horses.
My kids tend to reach their goals faster when I'm able to incorporate the movement of the horse, because it's something that can't be duplicated. Even on a therapy ball, I can't give that client that same rhythmical, repetitive movement in all 3 planes of movement that the horse can impart to them.
And kids think it's like so much fun, and it is fun.
We're playing monkey in the middle.
He doesn't realize that it's work, because that hard work is disguised in a package that happens to be a horse.
Sitting up straight. Horses that saddle up do some really amazing things. I've seen them help kids say their first word.
They told us she probably wouldn't speak, but as soon as she gets on the animal, she just turns into a chatterbox.
I'm going to Pluto.
You're going to Pluto?
Yes! Yes!
Saddle Up is providing that confidence that we were hoping for.
It's a huge confidence boost.
Having a child with special needs, there's a lot of additional expenses. So even though our fees are lower, we still offer scholarships. It goes back to that motto of where all children are equal in the saddle. We don't want money to be a barrier.
We can't forget the whole family when we're trying to have our kids have the best experience.
It's been a soul saver for me. They've been there for us every step of the way.
When you're pregnant, you pray for a healthy child. When you find out that your child has developmental disability, you pray for a light at the end of the tunnel. And I can say to this day, without any hesitation, that Saddle Up has been that brightest light for us.
Well, when you start cooking, you using fresh herbs will be, like you said, a game changer. Fresh herbs change everything. Like this on a fresh tomato with some olive oil and some fresh mozzarella cheese.
And you use less salt too.
Oh, that's right, because the savory flavors, and they're so big. Now you can over flavor with herbs easily too, because it's so big a flavor.
You add a little more olive oil.
Oh, okay. See, there you go. And if you've got olive oil and you want to have some flavored olive oils, you can just take some rosemary, just snip it and put it in there, and it infuses really well, doesn't it?
Lovely.
Y'all, thank you for joining us on this show. Green Door Gourmet is where we are. And let's tell them that you can go to greendoorgourmet.com. There's lots of recipes using fresh herbs.
Tons of recipes. And also, when it's time to plant, you can find your fresh herb plants here too.
Go to greendoorgourmet.com, and they're located right here in Nashville on the west side. Well, like we always say every show, if you are looking for a blessing, you need to first be one.